Good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee, and I'm a mining analyst here at Red Cloud Securities. We welcome Kim Tyler, President and CEO, and we're also joined by Gary Nassif, Senior VP of Stratabound Minerals Corp. Kim will speak to us about Stratabound's flagship gold development project in California and its portfolio of exploration projects in Canada. Kim, you have 15 minutes to present, and then we'll have a 5-minute Q&A at the end of the session. Attendees, please feel free to ask questions using the Q&A link below. Take it away, Kim.
Thank you, Tim. And here we go. We're going to launch right into it. 15 minutes goes pretty darn fast. So hopefully everybody can see this. And we're going to get going right now. There we go. Everybody can see that okay, I hope. Stratabound, new North American gold explorer and developer. We're emerging fast, moving quickly. Thank you very much, Red Cloud, for hosting us. Forward-looking statement, compulsory. So quickly, if this is the one slide I had to talk to, I would say that we have great assets in sought-after jurisdictions in North America. We have a pipeline of high-quality gold exploration and development projects, and we've got a very strong team. We've got a good team, we've got good projects, we've got cash, and we plan to move quickly and build a company going forward. So our number one flagship operation just acquired recently in the last quarter of last year is Fremont in California. And we have, it's 3,300 acres of private land, near-term gold production opportunity, advanced stage, large open pit resource, NI 43-101 resource. The indicated ounces together, just under 1 million ounces defined in only 1 kilometer of a newly identified 4-kilometer, nearly continuous open-ended mineralized gold zones defined by surface soil anomaly. We just released that this in February, the news on that. And the objective here is get to early production, and there's strong potential to expand the resources by multiples of what the existing resource exists right now. We also have the Golden Culvert project in the Yukon. This is the one, this would have been our early flagship operation. It's early stage, it's district scale, high grade, at surface potential. It's 25 kilometers from one of Yukon's highest grade gold discoveries, Seabridge Gold's 3 Aces project. That was a 5,401 discovery in 2003. There's other operations in the area. It's not that well in the media that much, but we feel there's some pretty good excitement. That's a hot district that will be hot coming soon. And finally, in the Maritimes, we also like the Maritimes quite a bit. We're in the McIntyre Brook project is also early stage. It's also district scale. It's high grade, and it's at surface potential. And it's emerging as a new maritime gold camp with identical geology as the Newfound gold in Newfoundland. A lot of interest in the Maritimes. We have the same geology in New Brunswick that you see in Newfoundland. And the other item there to point out is that pay attention to Puma exploration. Their Williamsburg project is right next to ours. They recently published a 5.5 gram per ton drill intersection over 50 meters in September. And that's their first drilling done in the area at all. So it's going to be a hot area too. We encourage people to follow that story and both of our stories in that district. So what is the story? Why would you buy into Stratabound right now? Well, everybody's familiar. The gold sector has dropped about the junior resource sector has dropped about 30 to 40% in the last year. So it's cyclical. It'll come back again. It always does. 2020 was a hot time, was a high point of the cycle. We're in the downturn, but it looks like it's turning around again following the gold price. We're in particular a good bargain right now. We've made this acquisition. We went from 0 to nearly 1 million ounces, NI 43-101 ounces with our acquisition in October, and the market didn't notice. The market wasn't noticing much in our sector at all, and we're out there banging the drum about what we're in a peer group now that should be sitting around $32 per ounce, NI 42-101. So we're actually sitting around 9. Our market cap is actually still outdated. We're actually 14 million. It's just the case again of the market dribbling down and us getting our story out. We should be sitting up at 70 to 80 million in that range. That's a 5 times multiple. We have cash. We aren't out there marketing to get funded. We have the money we need. We're just going to continue to work this year. But right now, my point of this slide is that we're a buying opportunity right now. If you want to get in, you like the story, you think we're going to go somewhere, you best buy it off the market. I can't see it getting cheaper than 8 or 9 cents where it sits right now. So the vision of the company is to swiftly grow from an exploration and development company into a gold company. We've been an exploration company. Well, we want to build. We're operators. Our background is mining operations people. Our strategy, how we're going to get there, we're going to be a little bit different. We see opportunities. We're looking for opportunities that you can get in small scale and quickly expand out fast. Heap leach operations in California are ideal for this, generating quick cash, free cash flow, risk-free, minimizing the front-end capital, regulatory, environmental, social risks. And this assures success. You know what you're doing very quickly and you get moving fast. At the same time, Fremont provides the opportunity to expand on multiples of the 1 million ounces. We've only looked at in detail 1 kilometer out of 4 kilometers now we know is mineralized. We'll talk more about it as we go forward. And also we will continue to expand on our early stage projects in Canada to bring them forward, capitalize on the great successes of our adjacent companies with Seabridge and Puma in both of our neighborhoods where we work. Fremont, we like California. Quick idea from this slide, you can see it's pretty empty country. You don't have a lot of neighbors. That's one of the key points, boxes we like to tick off. This is actually the Fremont project. And we're looking at that red material as the oxide we talk a lot about is the free, quick to cash flow opportunity we have. California, Mother Lode Gold Belt, one of the most famous gold belts in history. Since the 1849 gold rush, it's produced over 100 million ounces. California's produced since 1849. But with the onset of World War II, a law came down in the United States to cancel all gold mining in the United States while World War II continued. And most of these mines never started back up again. This is a huge opportunity we saw particularly in the Cordillera, the Western United States, right up through to Oregon and Washington states. There's lots of opportunities of this sort. These shut down at $35 an ounce, not for lack of reserves, just because the mining, because the government forced closure. So now today you can get back into, and they had to mine high grade at $35 an ounce, but today you can get back in, as Nevada is doing, and more efficiently and cost effectively mine low grade material around it, which is the opportunity here we have at Fremont. Permitting, that's the one issue that seems to be mining companies shy away from California. There's a bit of a myth, and we're mythbusters on that point, is that you'll never get a mine permitted in California, and that's not true. Equinox Gold, billion-dollar market cap company, Ross Beatty Company International, they just opened up in the last year or so, Castle Mountain and Mesquite. So they've got those operating just fine, thank you very much, in California. So it's not an issue. In fact, I would say it's probably more difficult in Canada these days to get permitting going. The big difference in the US is that you're dealing with the county. They lead the regulatory regime, particularly in Mariposa County. It's rural, sparsely populated, has a fragile economy relying on tourism and ranching, but it has a long mining heritage. If you visit that county, everything's gold mine this and prospector that. So we find that we've got you get focused attention from the regulatory the people in the area, and they represent the local stakeholders and businesses. It's going to be as stringent as anywhere in the world. We're not going to take shortcuts. No way you would. But we just find you got focused attention and more support, and that everybody wants to see something develop in the positive way. So what more can we say about it? The history and the potential? It was mined between 1850 to 1942. Again, mined high grade traditionally. There's a lot of low grade that was left behind. That's a story of lots of mining operations in the world today. Excellent access to infrastructure. We got a highway right through the property, a substation. You can see it down here in the diagram. There's the mine office building. Highway runs through the bottom here. Again, open country, not many neighbors that can be concerned with us. And we have access to water. And for it, we've got 4 kilometers along the 200-kilometer long Mother Lode Gold Belt, which has produced 20 million ounces. Now, this is news here. This is the big news story. We just published this last week. This is extraordinary. Soil sampling isn't done that much in the US, and it should be, because it's very, very successful in Canada, particularly in the Yukon. That's what's opened up a lot of new gold discoveries for in the White Gold District, is just basic soil sampling. We were able to capitalize on some work that was done by the predecessor company that we acquired in October, and found they had done some work, but they never published it or even processed or compiled the data. And we find that we've got a 4-kilometer right through the property to the property edge soil anomaly of about 0.41 grams per ton. That is a grade that you would find in heap leach type of operations, and we're seeing it right from the soil anomaly. So the anomaly you can see is through here. The main deposit, the million ounces, the Pioneer deposit, is highlighted in this blue area through here. It only represents a kilometer of this whole length. We got all this property to explore along. We'll talk more about it. There's some drilling done in Queen Specimen. Wherever there's work been done, we're finding gold on the property. Quickly touch on this one. This is the resource estimate statement I'm required to talk about. There's the ounces and so on that come beyond 43-1 done by SLR Canada just recently in August. And there's the pit that the resource sits in. But no work was done to evaluate what's below it. And yet we can go, you see, drilling will take you down quite a bit deeper. This is 60 to 80 meter width zone. The high grade in red is what we'd mined in the past. All the yellow material is the low grade that's still available to us to get, and some of the high grade yet that hasn't been mined. So we see another point to comment here, that in 1980s, Wright Engineers completed, 1989, completed a feasibility study at $400 an ounce. It was positive, and they completed, even more importantly, an environmental impact report. A lot of the work's been done for us. We're going to be revisiting this stuff, dusting it off and making it current. But a lot of the risk that would have been done in completing a PEA and getting something into production has already been done. So that's exciting for us to be able to move this project forward. This slide talks a lot about the potential now. We talked about the mining opportunity, but that resource we talk about is all the drilling you see is in this blue dashed outline here is the Pine Tree-Josephine deposit. Yet the property is 4 kilometers long. That soil anomaly stretches all the way across, and everywhere there's drilling, and you see that sparse drilling, you're getting 2.38 grams over 6 meters, 2 grams over 27 meters, and over here in Queen Specimen, you're getting 2 grams over 50 meters, 2 over 24 meters. So we see the opportunity here for bulk underground mining potential, big widths, grades in the 2 to 3 grams, 1 to 2 to 3 grams. Excellent opportunity. But the point is, we've only looked at about 10% of this red dashed outline. And where we do look, we find gold. It just hasn't been drilled. You can see the opportunity for lots and lots of drilling, and multiplying that resource potential by factors of several factors. Our plan, we have milestones and catalysts. What's going on with Fremont over the next year? Our big project we're working on getting started this month is on baseline environmental data. There's no way you can get around 2 years of baseline data you got to collect. It goes into a report that goes in a permit submission here at the Q4 2023, and then we get approval and we should be mining. That's the mining story. On top of that, there's data to collect. We just talked about the soil sampling. There's definition drilling and trenching. We have trenching commencing next week on a permit that we have in hand, and we have drilling secured in May that we plan to do more drilling. So that's the kind of work we'll do. Plus metallurgical work we want to do as well. We talked about the oxide cap zone. That's where we see the easy, low-hanging fruit of going to production. That's where we want to go, and that's some of that network will go towards that. And also, and engineering studies as well, ultimately. Golden Culvert, we'll move on to the Yukon. This is a picture of our area in the Yukon area, Golden Culvert project. What is it? What's so special about that? It's high grade, it's a near surface hike in a new district, district scale. I've got in this diagram, we're looking at a highway right through the property. That's an asset that we value. We're right near, very close to the Three Aces project, talked about it earlier. Avon Resources is also up there, but not many people working in this little corner, yet lots of gold value in it. We have 99 square kilometers, over 28 kilometers of strike, and we've only explored 20%. Again, we're repeating again this high-grade discovery. It's an extraordinary discovery in 2003. 10-year permit, lots of certainty around being able to get it work done without having to go back and re-permit all the time. One of the features of the work that's been done, we drilled 25 drill holes and 24 trenches in the last few years. It had never been drilled before. It had a soil anomaly, which we talked a lot about before. These are the things that attract us in the first place. I think most extraordinarily, a year ago, we did work and sampled a boulder field that connected all the quartz veins that we drilled with 90-some samples of averaging about 13.3 grams per ton and up to 320 grams. This slide shows you the work that we've done. It's only a kilometer of the 28-kilometer strike, and it's very busy. And that's I don't apologize, because we did an awful lot of excellent work and lots of very good results. All the purple values are bonanza grades: 118 grams of visible gold, 320, 155. The red values are ore grade for typical of an underground, and the green would be open pit style of lower grade material. But a lot of you're seeing parallel structures. We believe we've got 6 parallel gold bearing veins over 130 meter width and about a kilometer strike. We focused a lot of attention on it, and I want to lastly point out this green outline is once again a soil anomaly greater than 30 parts per billion. That's what attracted everybody into the place in the first place. So what is that? That little brown box you looked at, the 1 kilometer, just this tiny box here. We actually control this whole property length. Last year we never really looked at the rest of the property until last year. We did more soil sampling, and lo and behold, we get 7 kilometers of soil anomaly, very much the same as the main showing. So we're excited to get out there this year when the snow is gone. It's got to be 20 feet of snow up there right now, but June or so we'll be out there, and we're hammers and boots. We'll be out banging on rocks. It's well exposed territory above the tree line. We'll be looking to see if we got more mineralized zones similar to the main zone, and see if we can pull out of that. So looking forward to next season at Golden Culvert. Our last project is McIntyre, Brook, New Brunswick, and I would like to speak to this slide. This is an exciting slide. This is what I talk about when I say that New Brunswick and right down to Hale and Ridgeway, where Oceanic Gold is in the Carolinas, is very much the same geology as you see in Newfoundland, but also the same geology you're going to see over in Ireland at Kurganalt, a very high-grade mine recently opened the last few years that Dalradian's running, and most people have heard of that one. But it's the same geology, because at this time, 400 million years ago, major continents collided. There's one giant continent called Gondwanaland, and where they collided, you got gold deposits. You also got New Brunswick. You got VMS deposits, these big monster base metals deposit, but nobody really been looking for gold until the 2000s, and prospectors are finding gold, well, you know, right where you expect to find it geological wise, because that's where you're finding it down in the Carolinas, you're finding it in Newfoundland, and you're finding it in Ireland. So we're up here in this area. It's relatively new. I don't think a lot of people have caught on to this yet. We say it's the new Newfoundland gold. Puma is right beside us. This is a slide. This drills into the details. Puma Exploration owns all this property in here. They're in the news a lot. They've just relating lots of good results. Highway right through the property again. We're tucked in between their properties here in this outline here. We're early stage yet. We've done soil sampling. There's been prospecting up to 9.5 grams. There were trenches done up to 41 grams in an area where people had not even looking for gold before. I see I'm just about out of time, Tim, and I'm at the end pretty much. I could quickly swift through here and say here's our market. Anybody wanting to see more can visit our website. 175 million shares outstanding. We have cash. We just raised $2 million. We're in good shape. Share price is depressed like everybody else's. We got a strong team, which people can view later. It's hard to get everything in 15 minutes. And I'm going to say thank you very much. There's my contact information, and I am done.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Kim, for the great presentation. We'll now move to the Q&A session, and we do have a question or two here. First, what percentage of Golden Culvert project do you own?
40%.
40%. Okay.
40%, and we have one final payment to do this year, and we will own it 100%.
Okay. And shifting to California, where do you stand in the drill permitting process at Fremont?
We actually have a permit right now. It was extended to the end of April. Our trouble was we had a drill lined up in December, and the drill bailed on us. I think he got a better deal. He strung us along for about a month or two, and that was unfortunate. But we do have a permit right now, and it does allow for trenching. So we're going to be putting in 10 trenches starting next week that we will get done. The drilling that has been done in this particular area, Queen Specimen, the project to the north, has got 25 drill holes in it. As mentioned, it's very similar. That's going to be the subject of an update in our 43-101. Those trenches will be used for that as well.
Great. And then looking forward a bit, what would you say is the estimated timeline to micro heap leach gold production at Fremont?
Well, there's certainly a 2-year window where we've got to collect baseline environmental data. We're ambitious. We know that the Rise Gold, the Idaho, Maryland, they got a permit done in 2 years. We're going to try the same, but you know, if it's 2 to 3 years, we see that happening. Comparably, I know very well in Canada, you're going to be waiting 10, 15, 20 years to get a permit to do very much of anything. We also feel starting off small scale is not frightening for folks and should make this you know, a lot easier to get through than going a big, full, multi-billion-dollar pre-production capital giant hole in the ground. We're going to start smaller, and I think that gets us a bit, can get things done quicker.
Great. And looking on the community relations side, what are relations like locally there in California?
We haven't done a lot yet. We've had discussions with the local regulator, and we do plan on doing that. We've just got the property, and we've been approached a little bit, but I say, you know, we just bought the house and we haven't even looked through the rooms yet. So let's settle in a bit and get going. But we will be moving towards it. But we do have people working with us that are very highly regarded mining professionals or California geologists, and particularly the permitter that we've got, David Cochran, working with us. And they've done a lot of this work before. We know we're in a community that has a mining heritage in it. I noticed the same thing in Upper New York State and another property, and it's not doing all that well economically. And it's mainly, as I said, ranching and some tourism is basically it. We discussed this with the regulator. What do you think is going to be the attitude? Locally, you probably get some support. You know, everywhere you go, you might have some resistance. But at least locally, it looks like there's going to be some support. We do have to do outreach. We know that. We're just not ready to do that, and making sure people's expectations are real. You know, we have to get that as well too. Great.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps things up. Thank you again, Kim, for the great presentation, and thank you everyone out there for joining us today. Up next, we have Pilar Gold on Stream 1. And GR Silver Mining on Stream 2.
Thank you.